This is Louis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight. So delighted to be joined in Primrose Hill with Gareth A Davies here for the book launch, Call of the Warrior. The chains are out, the chest is out.
I'm not stripping. I'm just rearranging myself.
Obviously it's your soft book launch tonight, Call of the Warrior. I had a flick through. I like what I saw there. Some real great sort of pieces and great photos as well. I know I mentioned to yourself the Devin Haney ones, which you obviously mentioned was really special. But you obviously a big night for yourself.
Yeah, it's a great night. It's just not the night. It's the last week since we picked up the book from the publishers while I just redress here with Sonia Jasinski. It's been 5 years' work. We're in the Queen's Pub, as you say, in Primrose Hill, favoured by the great Robert Plant of Led Zeppelin, managed by Fraser, who's given us time and space here over the last couple of years, who's now heading off to Brazil, deserting us. So we'll have a new manager. Come to the Queen's. It's an amazing pub in bespoke Primrose Hill. We spent time here going over all those photographs, digesting them all while supping on tequila. Many an hour spent in a cubby hole downstairs in the corner. The whole idea of the book is the pictures are behind the scenes. They're not your normal press conferences. They're moments in time where you can flick through 256 pages, 250 black and white photos of black and white photos, very iconic, 29 essays, including the introduction, a foreword by Joe Calzaghe, and just the idea is you flick through and you can open them on any page, and there are wisdoms about boxing in there. There are the narrative of people's lives. There's the reasons why everyone feels, and you even do in your profession and what I do, the call of the warrior. We're called to tell the stories of the warriors. That's what this book does. Whether they belong to a certain neurotribe, whether they are a chancer, whether they've come from gaming like KSI and Jake Paul, those two are in it, but so is Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren and Bob Arum and Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, Tio Lopez, Billy Joe Saunders about his love of horses. There's so many different stories in there. Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, how they are more than extraordinary women to do what they do. They're gonna fight again next week. I'm going to be there to witness it. The event in New York 3 years ago was extraordinary. They had 1 million viewers, and in the time I've covered boxing, there's been the odd woman who's really stood out. We've got two great female fighters at the moment. It's all in the book. And we're very proud and honoured to have finally got to the end of it.
Just touching on that there, Gareth, and there's a lot of moments and a lot of pictures shared in that book, and I think for yourself, where you've been involved in boxing for so long, I think one thing that is always special about the sport, especially in this field, is like the sort of the access you do get to fighters and sort of spending close time with them. I'm sure you have that with many fighters. As you see there, like the photos of Devin Haney in the barbers and that in his hotel room, like
on his bed,
that is special, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, and you know, because occasionally you become friends with fighters, and we're always taught in the media never to get too close.
Yeah.
Because you need to be able to critique. You need to be honest about them. People often accuse me of being too close to Tyson Fury. It's only because I've had so much access to him down the years. You don't get the same access to someone like Anthony Joshua, who less is more. The photographs of him are all about community, really, and about those calloused knuckles. You've seen his hands before. Anthony Joshua's got incredibly calloused knuckles, and it's emblematic of the narrative of what he's put his hands through. These big trowels that he's pitted against another man in this hope, in this ambition to be the number one, and he's not quite there. It's all in the book about the struggle, about the redemption stories, the mental health stories. They're all different, and every essay has a link as to why there's the call of the warrior. There's an essay on Michael Buffer in there. He makes the call of the warrior. Every time He gets us ready to rumble, doesn't he, ladies and gentlemen? And he loves it, and he's 80 now. He told me a year ago he's going to retire. When I did the interview with him, he said, I'm only doing a couple more months, and I'm done. Well, he's at all the major events still, isn't he? Because he loves it, because he loves calling for the warrior.
Nicely put, Gareth. And we'll just quickly move on, actually. And obviously, I did want to ask you about. Oh yeah, well, if you want to show it there.
And that's it. The call of the warrior. Shall I just give a little flick through? There's Canelo. So I was saying, there's Bivol. It's the one photo in the book that I took, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I took the photo and did the essay. Calzaghe in his gym. Terence Crawford. Ben Davison. Anywhere you look, Tyson. Tyson, that was on tour with Tyson.
These were, as you say, these were spanned all over 5 years. Obviously, Garcia looks quite young in there as well. Yeah. Golovkin,
Haney. That's lovely, isn't it? Barry and Eddie Hearn. Look at them. Masters of the Matchroom Universe, as that one's called. Look at him on the helipad. We had a lovely day, Sonia and I, with Barry and Eddie. Didn't we, Sonia? We had a whole afternoon with them. They didn't want us to leave. We had an amazing time. Well, anyway, Lomachenko, I think, is one of the modern greats. Teo Lopez, Don Chepo and Eddie Reynoso. Amanda. Shiraz. Some of the
must be more recent than the Shiraz one.
Shakur. Lovely guy. Josh Taylor, the last shoot of the book. And then these amazing pictures of Usyk and Frank Warren in his office. Yeah, very proud of it. Very proud of it, my friend.
Definitely, rightly so. But yeah, obviously, I did want to ask you about like wider topics in boxing. Obviously, there was a big one that came out yesterday.
There's no wider topics than the call of the warrior.
Yeah, but obviously, Conor Benn getting cleared by the NAPD. Obviously, we know the board can still appeal that decision where they got 21 days to do so, and if they do, we're sort of back to square one again. But yeah, I guess what was your overall reaction when the news come out about sort of late afternoon tomorrow? Yesterday?
Well, I've been teased for a couple of weeks that this was coming out. They don't know whether UKAD will rescind their previous stance and they'll go with it. I hope they do, because in a way they've been knocked by this, because even though it wasn't a UKAD test, it was a test with WBC have already exonerated him. The WBC Cares programme. They've given him an out. And was it VADA, the other test, wasn't it?
Yeah,
both times for clomiphene. Conor has insisted from the very start to the very end that he's innocent, that he's never knowingly or deliberately cheated. I've never called him a cheat. I don't think as a human being he is a cheat. I don't know what's happened there. I've always wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he's served his time. I'd love to see him get back. I want to see him fight Chris Eubank Jr., not Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank Jr. I don't want to see a 27-year-old against a 59-year-old. No, I'm going to that next week with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. And I'm a little bit ambivalent, morally ambivalent about it. But as I did tell Jake Paul a couple of months back, I hope Mike knocks you the fuck out. And he had a giggle about it. 4 minutes I'm giving Mike to knock him out. Otherwise it might be a hard night for him. But I'd like to see Conor Benn have a chance to fight Chris Eubank Jr. now. 2 years have passed. A lot of water's passed under the bridge. I don't think it was handled as well as it could be at times. But the young man has served his time, and I think it's time to come back.
For yourself, I think it's up to Conor to give consent, I guess, to know the reasons why he's been cleared. It's up to him to do that. And I know that the public are always going to make their judgment on that. Do you think it'd be the right thing to do? Because there's still no explanation. You know, he's denied the eggs and stuff with the WBC, so there's still like no reason as to why he's been cleared.
What we don't know yet, whether this is based on jurisdiction, strict liability, or what all the details are, they will come out. But I think the next move is that time will elapse with UKAD. We'll find out whether an appeal's been made. I'm sure Eddie Hearn and Tony Sims and Charlie Sims and Conor Benn will be pressing the Boxing Board of Control to make a decision on his licence, and then they need to move on. It can't go on forever. And at the moment, the ban's been lifted, the suspension's been lifted, so hopefully for him, and I do hope for him, that this is an exoneration moment for him and that he's able to carry on with his career. But we don't know yet.
Absolutely, I'll leave it there, Gareth. You've done a lot of media today. It's been a busy day for yourself, so I'll let you go. But Gareth, always a pleasure, mate. Thank you for your time, mate.
And I'd like to see Daniel Dubois fight Joseph Parker, because you need to ask me about that.
Yeah, of course I'll
I'm
ask
glad
you.
it's not Anthony Joshua next. Agit Kabayel. F.A. Ajagba's a good shout. Otto Wallin, Guido Vianello, they're all linked in the top 15, apart from Joseph Parker of the IBF. That's the best fight, but it's a voluntary, not a mandatory. So,
Do you think so? When it comes to age, do you think the Dubois rematch still should be there for him?
it will be there. Joshua can still fight Deontay Wilder, Dillian White, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk again, if they play the cards right. There's 6 fights there for him, in my view. 2 Fury fights, Deontay Wilder, Usyk, Dubois, and 2 Fury fights, Daniel Dubois, Dillian White, Deontay Wilder, and...
Did you say Fury?
And Fury.
Did you say Fury?
Maybe. No, yeah.
Did you say Fury? I'm trying to...
Dillian White. Right, I'll try and get it right. Last 6 names of the night. Fury twice.
Yeah.
Usyk again. Dubois again. Dillian White and Deontay Wilder. Right, hang on. Finally. It's been so heavy to carry. And thank you very much, young man, for being the last interview of the night and for coming tonight. Appreciate you, Boxing Social. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gareth. I appreciate it. Top man.